Sister Wives, Kody Brown pushes his limits in Special Forces Challenge, how the TLC star's military-style test became a quest for redemption, leadership, and manhood. When you've spent more than a decade under the microscope of reality TV, every flaw, outburst, and heartbreak becomes part of your public identity. For Sister Wives star Kody Brown, that microscope has felt particularly harsh in recent years. His once celebratory plural marriage crumbled on-screen. His relationships with 3 of his 4 wives ended. His bond with many of his children fractured. But now, at 57, Kody Brown is confronting a different kind of challenge, one that doesn't involve emotional breakdowns, family arguments, or marriage therapy sessions. Instead, he is faced with mud, exhaustion, and the relentless pressure of Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, a Fox reality competition that strips celebrities of their comfort and subjects them to the brutal training methods of real military selection. This time, there are no confessionals to vent in. There are no spouses to blame for their actions. There are no cameras capturing him in a luxurious home in Arizona. The challenge consisted solely of survival, teamwork, and physical pain. And yet, as fans are discovering, this challenge may be the closest Kody has come to confronting who he really is. 1. The unlikely soldier, from polygamy to military drills. Since the 2010 premiere of Sister Wives, Kody Brown has been a polarizing figure for viewers, balancing roles as a showman, patriarch, and subject to criticism. His family's original mission was to normalize plural marriage and show that love could exist outside traditional structures. But as the show evolved, so did public perception. Kody's controlling behavior, emotional volatility, and perceived favoritism toward his 4th wife, Robyn, turned him into a reality TV villain of sorts. So, when Fox announced that Kody would be joining Special Forces, World's Toughest Test for its 2025 season, the reaction was mixed. Fans wondered if he could handle a show built entirely on teamwork and humility, 2 traits he's often struggled with. The irony wasn't lost on anyone, a man known for emotional conflicts now voluntarily walking into a world defined by physical punishment and discipline. 2. The premise: what is Special Forces, World's Toughest Test? For the uninitiated, Special Forces is not your typical celebrity competition. There are no eliminations, no fancy accommodations, and no pampering. Contestants, who range from athletes to actors to reality TV stars, are dropped into a harsh environment where they undergo authentic military-style training exercises, led by real Special Forces veterans like Rudy Reyes and Jason Fox. They're deprived of sleep, stripped of luxuries, and pushed to their physical and emotional limits through drills, survival tasks, and interrogation scenarios. The goal of the competition isn't to win, rather, it is to endure. For Kody Brown, who has spent years trying to control every narrative around him, the show presents a radical shift, a place where control is impossible, where submission to structure is the only way forward. 3. Kody's motivation: good quality manhood. In a recent preview and interview with People, Kody Brown explained what drives him through the pain. "I don't consider myself a great leader," he said candidly, while struggling to carry heavy equipment alongside Real Housewives star Gia Giudice. However, true manhood and masculinity involve taking responsibility for the necessary tasks and completing them. That statement struck a chord with viewers, and with critics. Over the years, Kody's version of manhood has been a central theme in Sister Wives. He's preached responsibility and spiritual leadership, but his actions, especially during the family's disintegration, often contradicted those ideals. On Special Forces, stripped of his authority and status, Kody's definition of masculinity has nowhere to hide. His words must become actions. "You accomplish a difficult task with other people," Kody continued. "And there's a camaraderie you develop for it." It's an ironic, almost poetic twist. The same man whose family unity fell apart is now seeking connection and teamwork through physical suffering. 4. The emotional context: why this challenge matters now. Kody's participation isn't just a PR move, it's a turning point. When Sister Wives premiered 15 years ago, Kody was a man surrounded by wives, children, and a spiritual community. Now, he's down to 1 wife, Robyn, and has become estranged from many of his adult children, including Gabriel, Garrison, and Maddie. The emotional fallout from those broken relationships has haunted the show's recent seasons. Kody has often expressed anger, self-pity, and confusion, insisting he's been unfairly painted as the villain. By joining Special Forces, Kody seems to be seeking an environment where the noise stops. No family politics, no endless discussions about who's to blame. It appears to be a test of personal endurance and self-definition. If Sister Wives documented the downfall of Kody Brown as a husband and father, then Special Forces might represent his effort to rediscover Kody Brown as an individual. 5. The early struggles, clash of styles. In the season's opening episodes, Kody was paired with fellow contestants Gia Giudice and Brianna Chicken Fry LaPaglia. The group dynamic quickly became tense. Gia, daughter of Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice, told him to slow down as he charged ahead during a task. Kody, however, didn't listen. His instinct was to lead through volume and intensity. Later, he admitted, "I am the loud, obnoxious type and not the strong, silent type." That self-awareness, while refreshing, also highlights one of Kody's most significant lifelong patterns, mistaking dominance for leadership. Even on Sister Wives, his attempts to lead often came across as forceful rather than collaborative. In Special Forces, that style has immediate consequences. You can't shout your way through exhaustion. You can't command respect, you have to earn it. 6. Lessons from the military mentors. One of the show's real-life instructors, veteran Rudy Reyes, offered Kody a piece of advice that seemed to resonate deeply. What should you be doing that you're not, and what are you doing that you shouldn't? Impulsive reactions and control struggles have shaped Kody's life, so that question resonates deeply. It's a mirror disguised as mentorship, forcing Kody to reflect on his habits, not just his physical limits. In many ways, Special Forces becomes less about military tests and more about psychological deconstruction. The recruits are stripped of ego, tested in humility, and forced to confront who they are without comfort or defense mechanisms. Circumstance is now rewriting Kody's story, which he has spent years narrating. 7. Robyn's influence, the one voice that still grounds him. Even amid the chaos, Kody made it clear that Robyn Brown, his last remaining wife, continues to play a major role in his decisions. He revealed that when he decided to participate in Special Forces, Robyn suggested they discuss it later. But he already knew he would go through with it regardless. "I was grateful for Robyn's support," Kody said. This moment captures the duality of Kody's relationship with Robyn. She's both his emotional anchor and, at times, his enabler. Her presence gives him validation, but her influence also isolates him from the rest of his family. In Special Forces, however, he's on his own. Robyn's voice isn't there to soften his edges or justify his choices. Every grunt, every fall, every failure is his alone. 8. The physical toll, facing his age and limits. At 57, Kody Brown isn't the typical recruit for an endurance-based military simulation. Competing alongside much younger participants like Gia Giudice and social media personality Brianna LaPaglia, he's forced to confront his age and the physical consequences of years spent in emotional stress rather than athletic training. Still, Kody has long prided himself on physical stamina. On Sister Wives, he often boasted about his energy and ability to take on multiple responsibilities. Special Forces puts those claims to the test. Carrying sandbags through freezing water, scaling rocky cliffs, and performing timed drills, every moment challenges his narrative of control. The body, unlike the ego, doesn't negotiate. And yet, the more he struggles, the more human he becomes. Viewers who've long criticized him are now seeing cracks of vulnerability, and in those cracks, perhaps, a sliver of redemption. 9. Redefining masculinity. When Kody spoke about good quality manhood, fans couldn't help but draw parallels to his Sister Wives' history. For years, Kody's idea of masculinity was tied to authority, being the decision-maker, the provider, and the head of a plural family. But that version of manhood ultimately collapsed. Now, in Special Forces, masculinity takes on a different meaning, not about control, but endurance, not about dominance, but accountability. Taking responsibility for the job that needs to be done and doing it, Kody said. That's not just a military mantra, it's a potential roadmap for his life after family chaos. If Kody can truly internalize that definition, one rooted in shared effort rather than hierarchy, he might finally grow beyond the man viewers have known for 15 years. 10. Leadership under fire. Throughout the series, leadership becomes one of the key themes, and one of Kody's greatest struggles. When placed in team tasks, his instinct to command often clashes with the show's collaborative philosophy. While initially motivating, his loudness eventually becomes tiresome for his teammates. Leadership in Special Forces isn't about being the loudest, it's about steadiness, empathy, and trust. These are the very traits Kody's wives often said he lacked. Therefore, when he says, "I don't consider myself a great leader," it might be the most honest thing he's said in years. That admission holds significant power as it paves the way for potential transformation. Self-awareness, however late, is still progress. 11. The shadow of his reality TV past. No matter how hard Kody tries to redefine himself on Special Forces, he can't escape his past entirely. To the public, he's still the man who alienated Christine, disappointed Janelle, and dismissed Meri's pain. But in this new environment, those labels lose some of their power. There's no time for manipulation or monologues. The challenges are too brutal, the stakes too real. In a sense, Special Forces serves as a powerful equalizer. Fame doesn't lift sandbags or cross frozen rivers. Every recruit bleeds the same. Perhaps that's why Kody desired this opportunity, a fresh start where his past doesn't define him. 12. The audience divide, sympathy versus skepticism. Fans watching Kody's latest venture are split. Some see genuine growth. "This is the most human Kody's ever looked," one viewer commented online. "You can tell he's finally out of his comfort zone." Others remain skeptical. "He's trying to rehab his image," another said. "This isn't self-discovery, it's PR." Both takes might be true. Kody Brown is nothing if not complex, a man equally capable of vulnerability and ego. But even skeptics admit, seeing him endure pain instead of causing it feels like poetic justice. 13. The psychology of endurance. There's something symbolic about Kody turning to physical endurance as a form of redemption. For years, his challenges were emotional, arguments, resentment, and moral superiority. But physical hardship leaves no room for self-delusion. The body reveals the truth. As psychologist and Special Forces consultant Dr. Mark Collins once said about the show's premise, "You don't locate yourself in comfort. You discover yourself in struggle." For Kody, whose identity has been built on control, the forced surrender of Special Forces might be the therapy he never sought. 14. Gia Giudice and the next generation dynamic. Kody's partnership with 24-year-old Gia Giudice adds another layer to the story. Gia, the daughter of Teresa Giudice, has grown up in her reality TV chaos, but unlike Kody, she's part of a generation that values emotional honesty over image control. Her request for him to slow down during a task wasn't just about pace, it was symbolic. Younger participants like Gia approach teamwork with empathy and self-awareness. Kody, representing the old guard of reality TV masculinity, leads with noise and pressure. Their friction becomes a small-scale generational clash, control versus cooperation, assertion versus listening. And yet, Kody's willingness to reflect, admitting he's loud and obnoxious, shows he might finally be learning from the discomfort. 15. What winning really means for Kody. In Special Forces, there's no $1 million prize, no title, no trophy. Success is survival. For Kody, that survival is symbolic. It's not about beating others, it's about reclaiming a sense of self stripped bare of excuses. He may not win the competition, but simply finishing it could represent something far greater, proof that he can endure without control, thrive without authority, and lead without dominance. Whether he knows it or not, that's the very lesson his family needed him to learn years ago. 16. Robyn's view back home. While Kody battles exhaustion and mud on screen, Robyn Brown watches from afar, the only wife still standing by him. Her presence in his life is both a comfort and a burden. In previous Sister Wives episodes, Robyn often expressed frustration that her husband was emotionally unavailable even to her, caught between anger at the past and fear of the future. Seeing Kody push through Special Forces might provide her hope, or serve as a reminder of the man she married, restless, searching, and desperate for validation. Their dynamic has always been codependent, her patience feeds his need for affirmation. This show might either balance that equation or deepen the divide if Kody emerges more self-reliant than before. 17. The public perception shift. In a strange twist, Special Forces might do for Kody what years of Sister Wives confessionals couldn't: humanize him. Watching him sweat, stumble, and self-correct creates empathy in a way no family drama ever could. Reality TV fans love a redemption arc, and this could be Kody's, if he leans into humility rather than performance. But humility has never come easily to him. The question is whether the mud, exhaustion, and failure will finally teach what years of marriage counseling couldn't. 18. The man in the mirror. Every reality star eventually faces a moment when the cameras stop flattering and start reflecting. For Kody, Special Forces is the mirror. When he looks into it, he can no longer hide behind theology, family structures, or plural philosophy. What's left is a man alone with his choices, and his capacity to change. "I don't consider myself a great leader," he admitted. It's an imperfect truth, but an honest one. Maybe honesty, not authority, is the new form of manhood he's been searching for. 19. Beyond the battlefield, what comes next? When the cameras shut down and the mud washes off, Kody will return to Arizona, to Robyn, to the silence left by his other wives, and to the children who've stopped calling. But if he carries even a fraction of the discipline and reflection he's developing on Special Forces, there's hope he might rebuild something genuine. Not another polygamous empire, not a public image, but a relationship or two. Maybe even with his estranged kids. Endurance, after all, isn't just physical. It's emotional persistence, the courage to keep trying after you've been wrong. 20. The final word, a test beyond television. Special Forces, world's toughest test strips away the filters that made Sister Wives so theatrical. It replaces drama with dirt, ego with exhaustion, and speech with action. For Kody Brown, it's not just another reality gig. It's a reckoning. The same man who once defined masculinity through control is now learning that true manhood might mean surrender, to teamwork, to humility, to truth. Whether he emerges changed or merely bruised remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Kody Brown has never been tested like this. And for once, the fight isn't against his wives, his critics, or his reputation. You are welcome to share any video requests in the comments. I will make a video about it. Stay connected with the Wives Union for all the latest updates, spoilers, and deep dive recaps. See you in the next video. Stay safe and healthy, may God keep you safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell button for daily updates.